Hello everyone, how are you doing today? I am doing a design team project for Drop of Sunshine Art, and these are her free pages. We're going to do an envelope page wrap today. This is Cindy with Moonfire Studios. Thank you for joining me. Now for Marta's free digital papers, the link will be in the description box, and these are from the Dear Friends collection. This is Dear Friends page 5A, and this is Dear Friends page 5B. They have these wonderful friendship sentiments on them, and they are coordinating pages. And I believe there's 7, possibly more, in the Dear Friends collection set. So what I've done here is these are printed out normal for US 8.5 by 11. These ones are printed on hammer mill laser color printer paper, and then I have enlarged them and taken just a section, like this is basically from here, and I've just enlarged it so I can get more, not only more of the whole page pattern, but it's expanded the pattern itself to resize it differently. So I thought that was kind of a cool aspect there. So I'll show you 2 different ways to do some envelope page wraps. As you can see, these ones I have double-sided printed, but the enlarged ones I have only printed on one side, because we are going to take, I'm using 2 mailers, and these are just junk mailers that I've collected, and they're stuck in my junk mail envelope drawer. But I like the ones that have the neat windows in them. Like this one has a double window, and this one has a larger than normal rectangle window. And don't worry about, I purposefully chose one of the ones that was kind of mangled up here, so you can see what we'll do about that, in case there's an envelope that you really, really like and someone accidentally opened it not to your specifications. So we will use that and this, and I leave the flaps on. You could take the flap off if you chose to, but then you're left with a funny little edge there that tends to go a bit wonky. So what I'm going to do for these is I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the envelope where the flap lifts up, just enough to stick it down. This one has created a little bit of a weird curl on here, so all I'm going to do with that is just chop it off. If you wanted to, you could cut all the way down to the most interior tear here. That's up to you. I think I will cut most of it off, maybe not all of it. kind of want to keep it very similar in space between. Now, if you can't chop a lot of that off, what you would do is, because this is going to go over top of this, just make sure that the edge on your decorator paper is straight. Now, I happen to like the design that's in here. If you do not, just trim a piece that you like to go in there and set it in there. That actually looks really pretty. Okay, so I may be doing that. This is going to be my main envelope, and then this is going to be a flip pocket that I'm going to attach to it. So it will in essence be like this, and it will wrap around. It can go around that way for a journal page, or it can flip go on the top of a journal page and or a scrapbooking page, or this can be some happy mail. You can put some ephemera or little notes and stuff in it. But first, we are going to decorate the envelopes before we score them. Do not fold them until they are decorated, because it will make it a lot harder for you. Now we're going to figure out which paper we want to decorate which envelope. And I think because this one has the words on it, I'm going to make it go something like this. And I'm going to do a collage on here. You could, of course, take this and do one whole piece. Matter of fact, I really like the one whole piece idea. See, and I change my mind all the time. Cat a corner would be neat. And remember, this part of your design is not going to be there. I think I like this way. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to trace around the envelope and cut it out. And I'm going to just go around the edges of my envelope, just so I don't have any stark whiteness on the edging. That's just my personal preference. I just don't like it. You don't have to do it. You can do it with a different color. You can use purple. You can use blue, which I would normally do that also. And make sure you get both sides. This also helps hide any cutting imperfections if you get any. Okay, and if you get any on your window, you take a microfiber cloth and just wipe it off, or a damp paper towel or something. And there it goes. Now for the window cutout, you can either measure and mark, or I like to make sure mine fits just inside here. And get it all the way up against that edge and all the way up against the bottom. And then take a pencil or if you have a dried up ballpoint pen, or the tiny ball stylus, or even your bone folder, and just trace the window. And you can't really see it on camera, but I now have an indentation that I can either trace along, or I can use my craft knife and ruler to cut out. You can cut it out with scissors, you can cut it out with your plunge trimmer, whichever one you want. Okay. I have chosen to outline mine in pencil so that I can see easier, and hopefully you can see easier on the camera. And then I'm just going to cut it out with my craft knife. Okay, and hang on to that because it'd be a cute journaling card. If you wanted there to be no difference between this and the pocket, once you took your card out, you can always line that up on the inside there. Looks pretty cool. And then once you took slid your interior journaling card out, or friendship note, whatever have you, then this would be the same. Okay, now I'm just gonna stick it down over top, line it up how I'm happy with it. Now for the back side. You can basically do the same thing. This whole panel will actually fit back here, which I believe I will do that. Let me get rid of this pencil mark. And I personally am okay with this border right here because I think it adds to the composition. I quite like it. If you don't like it, then just use a different piece of paper, cover it up with a ribbon, another piece of paper, but I'm going to be doing some stuff all around here, so this is not going to bother me. Now, since this is smaller than this, make sure you have it where your right sides are up. In this case, I'm going to put the glue on the panel. There. Now you could leave this like this and just put a journaling card or something in there and tuck it into a pocket. or this could actually be your card, or a neat little scrapbook place for a description about your layout or something like that. Guys will have to excuse me if I'm not speaking all that well today. I have a really lovely toothache from some teeth that were chipped in back in 2019. I was in the hospital for a while, so my teeth were messed up. So I figure it's either ouchy teeth and being alive, or, you know, having perfect pretty teeth and not. So you'll have to excuse me today. Okay. So I'm still messing around with this, whether I want to have that in there or not. I really like the design in that, so I'm going to hang on to that, maybe use it in the coordinating page. So for this one, we're pretty much going to do the same thing. I will figure out where I want this to go. I believe I'm going to put this over the top of the page. That way the words are still upright, and then I shall put this one around this. So this will go like that. So you won't see most of this. You'll see a little bit right here at the bend and right here at the end. So you can cover the whole thing or choose not to. You can save this little bit however you want to do it. Okay, I'm going to use, now a lot of this won't be here, so what do I want to be here? I think I want to be right about here, because I'll get this flower on here, and this can be another little card space. There. Ta-da! Now we have the front. And now we're going to do the back. And I'm just going to see approximately where this fold is going to go. We want it to go a little longer than the fold and a little bit in from the edge. And that's just so there's no open space showing. And I'm going to take this piece And I like it for here. Okay, now pick which one, what section you want to go here. And I think I'm just going to make it the continuation of this piece. But I still want to get some of the orange to correspond in. So I'm going to go about there into the design. Now we can score. And this is personal preference, how you would like it to be. There are a few different ways. You can score right in half. You can score directly under the opening. You can score in between the opening. You can score more down here so that there's just a little bit of a fold there, and you can even just kind of flip this back up onto itself and make a pocket. However you would like to fold it is your personal preference. As I stated, I want mine to go over top of whatever page I'm putting it on, so I want it to be fairly even to go over so that it hangs on both sides. So I am going to take it roughly in half. I am not worried about being precise because I just don't. Okay, so this envelope is 9 1/4, so half of 9 1/4 is approximately a little over 4 1/2, maybe 4 5/8. We'll go with that. That sounds pretty good. So I'm going to press slightly harder than normal because I'm going through at least 4 layers of paper. And if you wanted to, you could flip it over and score on the other side. Okay, and give it a nice bend. And burnish it really, really well. And this one, I want the crease to be right between these windows. Now some people like to, where the fold is, they like to stitch down it with their machine or hand stitch it. Either one, that is personal preference. On this particular one, I am not going to. Now, since there's not a lot of room in between here, the little window has kind of popped up, and just be careful when you burnish the score line, and then you can just take a little bit of glue and run some more under there, or you can cover it up with a piece of washi tape. Now for this side, what I'm actually going to do to make it easier to put something in and out of there is I'm just going to take a circle punch and punch a little notch in it. Doesn't have to be very big. It can even be off to the side if you don't want to. I don't want to cut into the flower, so I'm going to go off to the side here a bit. We'll make it asymmetrical. Okay, what I'm going to do with this one is I'm actually going to put a background in here, and I like this flower in this window here. So I'm just going to slice this top white border off. And so we don't have this little white part showing in the notch, I'm just going to put a little piece in there. And this actually matches up with the pattern pretty well. Not completely, but doesn't have to. Okay, and I'm actually going to make this a double pocket. So you've got one pocket here and then one pocket behind. And to do that, I'm just going to line it on the bottom where I want it to go. You can make it go all the way to the bottom if you want. I'm going to raise mine up just a little bit because that's the aesthetic that I like. And I'm just going to do a light pencil mark at the tops and run my glue straight down the inside of that, along the bottom, and straight down the inside of that mark. I'm going to take this piece Okay, and now we can put a journaling card or a photo or a sentiment or a note in here, and then we can tuck something behind here. Okay, and then this is your page wrap. And it's going to sit like that. And it can be, like I said, on your journaling page, on your scrapbook layout. It can be a piece of happy mail and a card all by itself. And you can fill it with all kinds of goodies. Okay. There's that. Now these ones I've just printed out normal on 8.5 by 11 US, and this is going to be my journaling card. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch the cards with the envelopes. This envelope is going to have this paper for the cards, and then this one is going to have this paper. So everything matches and coordinates. And see which one I I really like this design area here, so I'm going to trim it to just inside the fold line. And I'm going to make it a little bit over the edge. This is going to be on the back side. So this one's actually going to come out this way. It's going to come out on this side. So I think what I want to do is put a little tab on here. So I'm going to extend it about 1/4 of an inch. Okay, maybe 1/2 an inch. About 1/2 an inch. I like that. And then just trim it there. And you see, I didn't push it all the way through in case I want a longer piece one way or the other. You don't have to always chop it all the way down. For the tab on this side, I'm just going to use a tab punch board from We Are Memory Keepers. And I think I want it towards the bottom. And we'll make it a medium size. Definitely hang on to this little guy because he makes a really nice pull tab or a fold over or a page marker for something. Ink the sides on this one. I'm just using the Spectrum Noir Finesse alcohol proof dye in rustic brown because that's what was on my table. And I think I want these corners rounded. So I'm just gonna do that really quick. I think it adds a nice touch and it also helps it to slide in and out of everything. Okay, there, that's pretty cool. And that will be like that. And you can take it out. And then on the back side there's a little spot for journaling, or you can put a sentiment, or you can make another little pocket to go there, or a sideways tuck spot to go that way. It's going to be a little smaller, but I think I'm going to do a little fold over piece. And you can tuck it all the way in, but I think I'm just going to have it hang over the edge like that, so you can pull it out. Okay, so it's going to look like that, and then you're going to open it, and then this will be there, and you can pull it out. Okay, now I make sure that I fold it and then I put it in that way, because if you open it up it's going to free up this area in here, and it's going to be a lot looser. So make sure that you fold it to get your card the right size. That's why I trimmed some extra off. So there's that. And if you wanted to, you could cut out one of these flowers, and paste it on there so that when this comes out, there's an extra flower in there just kind of floating. I might do that. Or you can take one of the sentiments and put it on there too. Okay, now when you flip that up and you pull this guy out, then this stays there. It adds a neat bit of extra element to it. And over here, I'm actually going to do the opposite. I'm going to cut out a sentiment, and I'm actually going to glue it onto the tag. But so that I get it in the right position in the window, I'm leaving the tag in there where it goes. I'm just going to open this slightly and stick it in. Then you can take your tag out and give it a nice press. And I think I need some more glue on this little flappy bit here. I don't know if I put any on it. It's acting like I didn't. Okay, and there's your page wrap. And going to go on this way. And you can just set it under a nice heavy book overnight, under your glass mat, under your die cutting machine, whatever you have that's heavy, and it'll help it to stay that way. A lot of times what I like to do anyway is just kind of clip it on there. And it keeps it from coming off. So there's the front, and there's the back, or put it on the other side. There's the front, and there's the back. And just unclip it. That one comes out. Open it up. This one comes out. And from this side, this one comes out. And then you can take it completely off. And then this one will come out. And then you can do, this one's a little too thick for there. You can have another tag or secret note back here. Okay, so I hope you liked that one. Alright, and here is the second way for the envelope page wrap. And I've double-sided these pages, the same on both sides, and you can do obviously one on one side and one on the other, however you like. And I'm just going to cut the square piece out. Okay, and the way mine measure out to is 7.5 by 7.5 squared, or I don't know, like 19 centimeters squared. And then I'm going to use the envelope maker on my tool here because it's just easier for me. And to make the envelope, you can either select the card size that you want the envelope to be, or you can go by what paper size you have. And a 7.5 squared paper makes a card size envelope for a 4.5 by 5 card. And you're just going to pay attention to this alignment guide. So we come over, it's 3 5/8. Now on the board, there's an alignment for envelope with an arrow and an envelope arrow here. All you do is, and this is magnetic, so right there's the little magnets, and then this part in here is metal. So all you do is you align your two arrows with what you want to do up. In this case, we aligned the envelope arrows together, and just it slides in here. These little teeth slide into each other, and just lay it flat. And now the alignment was 7.5 is 3 1/4. So what you're going to want to do is take a piece and come down here and slide it down to 3 1/4. This is the only time you use this measurement, in the very beginning. So 3 1/4 for your first corner. Just line it up, and there's little lines in here to help in case your paper comes out wonky or something like that for anything. So 3 1/4, and then this automatically lines up with the 2-inch score. So you just score in that line. Okay? And then you're going to rotate your paper 90 degrees clockwise. We're not going to use this measurement anymore. You're going to take this score line that you just did and line it up with this score guide notch that's right here. So you're going to take this, and it's even got a little notchy thing right there that you can put your bone folder in to make sure that it lines up with this score line that you just created. Okay, so I'll show you that again. Alignment guide is the first number. In our case, it's 3 1/4. So you line it up with that line, score down the side, pick it up, rotate it 90 degrees clockwise, lay it back down to align this fold, which is right here, with this score guide notch. So we're going to line that up like that. Okay, and then you're going to just score down the side again. So it doesn't matter that one side is longer than the other. Lift, rotate 90 degrees clockwise. Align it with the score guide. Score down the 2-inch mark, down just alongside of the guide right here. Lift, rotate, notch, score. Okay. And I don't know if you can see it, but there's little intersecting triangles now right here at the edge of your paper. You've got one there and one there. Okay, so you're going to take those, fold this in, and you've got 3 little buttons here for punches. This one here is the envelope punch. It has a little V with a little prong sticking out here to line up this little V that you just made. And it goes this way, and you can put it underneath this one, just don't punch it or you'll get a hole in it. And you just line these scores that you just made up with these 2 lines going into the envelope punch. Okay, and then this one sits right along in this score. And then you punch, and it'll come out like that. So that's going to create your fold line in your envelope. And then you just fold it up. Ta-da! Super simple, super easy, super fun, because you can use any paper you want to now. Okay, now I did the same thing with the second envelope. Okay. Now this page wrap is a lot more simple than the last one. We just glue our envelopes together. Now if you want to, you can just tuck these flaps under, so that's like that, which is what I usually do. Or you can just do a dot here and a dot there and cut it straight across, whichever you prefer. Sometimes I'll even flip it over this way. Oh, which I might do that today and make it kind of like a dimensional effect so that it's rounded like that. A lot of times if you do that, that's a good place to hide a magnetic closure. So you can put your magnet under there, and then that will, and then put a magnet there and put another flower or something on top of it, and then it will stick down. And I always put my glue on the side flaps instead of this flap, because you don't always know where the end is to stop. And a quick little envelope trivia: the pointy flapped envelopes are called baronial style. So if you're ever in a paper store and they say, do you want the baronial or the square cut? Baronial means pointy. Okay, and there's a few different ways you can do these as page wraps. You can have the pointy flap as what you wrap around. That's hard to see, I think. I don't know. You can have the pointy flap go around, and then just have a single envelope like that. You can have this one go onto the inside of this one to replace where this flap is. Then you could just do, you know, the same thing that you did with this flap with this one. Okay, so you're left with sort of like an odd little booklet. So you'll have a pocket here, and then you'll have a pocket here. You can leave one side open and have a pocket here. This can wrap around your page, and you can have like a tuck spot here, or a pocket here, or just glue it down. However you want, you can do it that way. You can tuck these in so that this flap goes inside this one, and this flap is on this one. So you're left with what looks like that. Okay. And then you can glue this down. You can make this a pocket, a tuck spot again, and then you can have it to where this wraps around your page like so. Okay. It can go over top. It can be, again, a page. It can be a scrapbook layout. You can send this itself as a happy mail, a card, an ephemera holder, whatever you like. Okay, you could do that. You can do this way so that it looks like that. And then this can be wrapped around the page. This can fold over, and then this can wrap around the page. So the possibilities with these are endless. Just have a play around, see what you want to create with them. Okay, so there's these guys. There's this one. So I want to see some fun and funky envelopes with you guys, and let me know what you would use them for. What would you put in these? Would you put some dried flowers in these? Would you use it as a specimen style for a layout? What would you do? So I thank you for joining me with this design team tutorial for Drop of Sunshine. I will leave again all the links down below, and please, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, give me a like, give me a subscribe, click on the notification bell if you want to be one of the first to see more like it in the future, and check out what the other design team members are doing. There still is some time to get in on February 2022's blog hop. There will be 2 winners this month, one from YouTube and one from Instagram. So that will be linked somewhere up there, I believe. And I will see you guys next time. Thanks. Bye-bye.